Our cleaning business has done over 11,000 jobs. We've never cleaned a single home.
Y'all never cleaned a countertop, never washed the dish.
And you got multi-million dollar, billion-dollar CEOs on their deathbed, and they're like, I just wish I had more time with my family. We say we're doing all these things for our family. We will work for our family. We live for our family. Yes, I want to create freedom. I want to create options, but our kids are here today.
What is it like to truly work with your spouse?
I usually don't do this, but...
People will either be intimidated or inspired about what you do. Neither is your problem.
Let me give you guys a prime example of that. I saw your car. You post about your car. It is a beautiful car. And then I saw this man's car. Okay. And people are like, oh, you bragging, you got this, you got that. I'm like, no, that shows you what's possible as being a black man in America and showing you what you can do in this world.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Melanin Money Show. We got two special guests, maybe partially responsible for recruiting us to Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
And so it's gonna be a really good episode. As a matter of fact, I've interacted with their company more times than I've interacted with them since I've been here. So we're gonna talk about it on today's podcast, but why you should potentially consider getting into this business for that very reason. So we're gonna talk with two people who went from 9-to-5ers turned 7-figure entrepreneurs, co-founders of Cleaning Business University, Marriage First Mindset, paid off $114,000 in debt to now having over $18 million in student results. With no further ado, Hartzogs, how are y'all?
Good. What's going on? What's up?
The intro.
Absolutely.
Thanks you guys having us.
Oh, absolutely. Long time
coming, right?
Right? So, I mean, so before we moved here, you spoke at our event that we had here. We
Killed it, by the way.
April of last year. Yeah, like before we moved here.
I was working, yeah. That's why I couldn't come.
Yeah, so she can come. So we said, but we had to get her on the show, the better half.
Absolutely.
Right, on the show for the
He
podcast.
did shout you out on stage, too.
He did.
So he's a good man right there.
Good man, good
I
man.
know. My man, what the lady saying now? My man.
My man.
But nah, all jokes aside, man, it's amazing having you guys on the show. As most people should know by now, I'm very intentional about the businesses that I support, right? My home is a black builder. The guy who just got us the new cars that we got, black car broker. So anytime I can find and support good business though, right? It's like I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? That happens to be owned by black people.
Yeah,
right?
there you go.
And so when I came here, I was like, I knew I was gonna need, somebody to clean the house. Now they don't clean houses,
Yeah.
but they own a business where people do it for you. Right. And I thought it was so cool because y'all don't clean, I mean, not at all. Y'all don't touch a mop or a rag or nothing. Right. So cool. So anyway, so they own a cleaning. Matter of fact, literally, ironically enough, today, I have my house cleaned by their company. So let's talk about how you guys even got into this, why you got, because I mean, cleaning business, of all things to choose.
Yeah.
It sounds boring and dirty,
Yeah.
Right.
but obviously y'all came in looking clean like money. So you don't have to. I think the biggest misconception with this business is that you have to be in the trenches when you don't. So can you just let us know what made y'all get into this business, and then we talk about how y'all got out of it.
So the business started because of Anthony, and when he brought it, I thought that he wanted us to clean. I'm like, absolutely not.
Yeah, it's like, what are we
I know who you're talking to, but not me. We're not doing it.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, we wouldn't go out and clean. We'll get people to do it. I'm like, how the hell are we going to find people to do this? Doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah.
So that was like early 2017. And then he brought it back again in 2017. He's like, all right, I got a plan. This is how it's going to go. This is what we're going to do. And then I was like, okay, we can do this. And we were paying off debt at that time. And so who starts a business when paying off debt? I don't know. But that was part of our process. Like, this can help us to pay off debt.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what started our cleaning business.
And looking back now, if you think about any business owner, I worked in IT for 15 years.
Yep.
And the CEO of my IT company didn't know anything about technology. He barely knew how to use his Outlook, barely knew how to use his computer. And how do you start a multi-million-dollar IT firm without understanding technology? He partnered with a person in technology, a CTO. And that's the way true businesses ran. He didn't have to say, I'm gonna go and learn technology to start this business.
Right.
He's, if I find the right partners, I can grow the business, right? So he's working from an owner, a CEO mindset from the very beginning. But we think local service businesses like this, that we gotta be in the trenches doing it day to day. Looking back now, I didn't have that mindset, but now I understand exactly why and how he was able to do that in his IT firm.
Yeah. So just for the record, since the inception of the business, y'all never cleaned a countertop, never washed a dish, never.
Our cleaning business has done over 11,000 jobs, and we've never cleaned a single home.
I love that's
That's
a hook.
crazy.
That's a hook.
Yeah.
Over 11,000 jobs and never. And again, I'm a living testament to it. They just left. Like I saw the security. And I trust them.
We had no idea either.
And one time I had to intervene and like text your wife, and I'm like,
Yeah.
because the cleaner reached out to me, I'm like, I usually don't do this, but but just asking me to come a little early. Is that okay?
And an amazing team. Matter of fact, so we switched the lighting in our house. Some of the like the chandeliers and stuff we took down, and Anita, she was like, "Is that for sale?" Now I was gonna sell it to her because we got like a wholesale relationship with the where they basically will take your lighting and sell it wholesale. But I'm just gonna give it to her for free. She's so happy. She's like, "I can have it for real." I was like,
That's dope.
yeah. So, but that just speaks to how satisfied I am with the service and the experience. Right? She's done a great job. So. Now let's talk a little bit about, okay, so you guys started the cleaning business. Obviously it went well. It became a vehicle or instrument to not only help you get out of debt, I'm assuming, but also now fund your freedom, right? You guys have 2 beautiful little daughters, came to the birthday party earlier this year. Legend had a blast. So how did it go from, okay, we got this cleaning business, we got it dialed in, nobody even knows we own it. It's like a little secret mystery, to now we want to help other people do the same thing.
I think for us, this happened right at the top of the pandemic. Everyone was like, I'm going to teach, I'm going to educate. And Jhanlika was like, nobody wants to know this stuff, but we fortunate enough to be sharing our journey on social media since 2016. We had our wedding video up there. We had our anniversary. We had our, what was the name of the event we did? Where we were doing a Beyonce and Jay-Z thing.
Oh, our engagement.
Our engagement video announcement going back to 2015, 2016. So we've been sharing our entire journey on social media. And during this time, we were kind of talking about the cleaning business a little bit. And
We were speaking about
paying off debt.
when she actually did a course on paying off debt prior to.
So we just got on IG Live and we just mapped out the whole thing, how we were able to build this cleaning business. And we said, if anybody's interested in learning more, because this has been a vehicle for us, tap in. And that's when you recognize, okay, well, the debt freedom stuff is cool, but people want to learn how to make money. People want to be able to create options for themselves. And I'm like, all right, let's do it.
Because he said that we should do the course, and I'm like, if you get 10 sales on this IG Live, I'll do it with him. So we didn't have a course. We just went on and sold something.
Y'all sold it before?
We sold
Yes.
it pre-sale.
There we go. Pre-sale.
We're on IG Live talking, and at the end, he's like, and we're gonna have a course coming out within a month, and if you guys are interested, so we got like over 10 sales. I'm like, okay, I guess we gotta record it. So like that night, we on Zoom at our counter.
But that's a lesson in business. You sell it before it's ready, because if nobody wants to buy it, then don't make it.
Right. That was my thing. I was like, I don't think anybody's interested. He's like, I promise you, let's just do this IG Live and let's just see. I'm like, okay. So went on and pre-sold it, and people were interested. I'm like, okay, I guess people got to record it now.
A lot of people talk about giving value up front, and we were giving value for so long, we didn't realize there was any interest in the thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So we would just drop little, oh, we got a cleaning business. Oh, we got 10 cleanings. And people was like, what the hell? Like the debt freedom, but what is this other thing you guys are doing? So when we was on Good Morning America, they talked about the cleaning business for maybe about 16 seconds out of a 3-minute segment. And people was like, wait, what's that?
What's that thing?
What's that thing? What's that? And we was like, okay. I was like, there's something here. We just got to explore it. And that's how we've been able to help over 2,000 students make over $18 million just from just putting it out there and seeing what's up.
Yeah, no, that's super dope. So let's kind of take a slightly different angle, because I mean, obviously I'm friends with y'all, so I kind of understand the dynamic. It seems like the dynamic is you have all these bright, amazing ideas.
That's the problem.
She's like, like sit down, relax. So what is it like to truly work with your spouse, right? Because I do almost everything together.
I mean, we there, yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So let's break down like the highs, the lows, the challenges, but ultimately it works, right? So like, because I know there's some couples watching this right now that's like, I want to work with my spouse, I don't know if it can work. So like, give us some lessons learned that you guys have learned throughout this journey working together.
So I would say I don't think every spouse should work together. That's the first thing.
Disclaimer.
I do feel like personalities matter, and I do feel like you have to like the other person. Now, that's not shade to anyone, but
I was saying, is that not a marital requirement?
Y'all see social media. It's like 50-50.
I love you, but I don't like you, baby.
Yeah, and sometimes that shows from people. So I feel like to be around someone all the time, you really gotta like them. So that's one thing. And then we do pour into like strengths and weaknesses, right? So he was in IT and he knows all that world. That's not my world in any capacity. Yeah, I could use the iPhone and stuff, but I'm not into that. I'm a mental health therapist. So when it comes to communication with customers and just different things, I would be a bit more level-headed and a bit more like, this makes more sense, this doesn't. And you're too giving that way.
I'm like, yo, here's your money back, leave me alone. I don't need it.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
like take it easy, let me handle it. So the strength and weaknesses was a big thing for us. And then I know it's cliche, but really communication. Like communication is very big in our house. You know, when we were paying off the debt and even in general, it was like, okay, we're having monthly meetings, weekly meetings of not just money, but are you happy this week? Like, how's things going with us? How's things going with the kid? Did I say anything recently? And so that's big for us to really nip things in the bud almost immediately if there's something that like, I don't like the way you're looking this, or I don't like the way this is going. Those are huge for us. So that communication, liking each other, weaknesses, those are a few things that I have. That
And when everybody knows we're married, so when we hop on our team calls, we try to let the marriage dynamic hop out on a conversation. So even this week, like, you know, pretty honest conversation. Jhanlika's like, I'm not feeling your energy this week. She's like, you're not leading us right now. And I'm like, whoa. I was like, she's like, something's wrong. It's like, you don't have that.
You have decision fatigue.
She's like, you might be making too many decisions that you don't want to make a decision. And I'm like, okay. I had to step back a little bit. I had to get back in my bag, as we say, right? So it took me a couple days, like, what's going on? Let me figure this out, where now I'm coming back on me. It's like, all right, here's the decision I'm going to make. Here's how we're moving forward. So those are business conversations, but those are family conversations, because I'm not feeling confident in my business. I'm not gonna be feeling confident in the family. I'm not gonna be making decisions.
Right.
So it took me a while to step back, like a couple of days, and figure out, all right, what's holding me back right now? Why am I not making decisions? And we had a conversation, and she's like, yeah, you're making too many decisions, and that's the problem. So going back to not the cons, but some of the challenges that those things spill over on a daily basis. So business, marriage, family, it all comes out. So we got a team, and they're like, you guys good sometimes? They're like, let me fall back a little bit. So
that's fact. But I think even within that, there's a lesson, because I think people like have this idea that there's a business life and a personal life.
this is not how it works.
The personal life ain't going well. You gonna see it, and it's gonna show up in the business. It's just understanding that, and I guess give yourself grace in that process. But I was interested to know like what that dynamic was, because I
didn't
think
like stopping it, because he doesn't stop business. I stop it. I'm like, it's 4 o'clock, I'm out. Like, he's like, well, your entrepreneur doesn't end here. I said, today it does. Like, all right.
It is for me.
My son just came over, it ends here. And many times I'm like, I'm talking to you. Why are you picking up your phone? Like, what's happening on your phone right now? He's like, you're right. Let me put it down. And so it's kind of like those reminders. But I think when you're the person, he brings all the ideas. Like, it doesn't stop for him, right? So a lot of times I got to like bring him in, like, all right, we're at the table, or we're going here. Like, I don't know if you noticed, we was at that party for an hour. You had on your phone for 40 minutes. Like, what was happening? I know nothing's happening on Instagram. Like, everybody okay? So some of that definitely still happens. So like you said, business and personal, it just kind of overlaps all the time.
Facts. And that spouse got to be able to do that. Like, yo, Aunt, Tone, you good? Cut it off, right? And that's a challenge sometimes.
Yeah, so I think one of the questions I want to ask in that regard, do you all, because you have business together and you have personal time, do y'all have to schedule out like personal time to make sure like business doesn't come into this area? Or because I see what happens with a lot of couples I know that work together, they end up letting the business consume their personal life, and it becomes more about business, and they kind of lose their marriage in the middle of that. How do y'all avoid that pitfall?
So I would say definitely scheduling it is important. I kind of take the lead in that more. I would say that definitely just with the date night. Sometimes we're going out, I'm like, we ain't talking about business. We step in the car, I'm like, don't talk about business.
Leave the business phone at home.
I'm not hearing it tonight. And then he was he's like, you're right. I'm like, yep, don't want to hear it. So yeah, it is kind of that being cognizant of it, because your life is the business. So it's like, what else we talking about then? If we ain't talking about this, what else we talking about? But like, there is other things happening. There's other stuff that we can look forward to and kind of just leave that behind. So absolutely, scheduling does become a priority. Like we say, like if it's not on the calendar, it's not happening. So specific things, like it needs to be on the calendar.
No, that makes sense.
And you got multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar CEOs on their deathbed, and they're like, I just wish I had more time. Like more time with my family. It's like we as entrepreneurs, we say we're doing all of these things for our family. We will work for our family, but we live for our family, right? That's right. So and I gotta remind myself, like, yes, I want to create freedom, I want to create options, but our kids are here today. Like, if our daughter just started walking, and it's like, if I would have been on a business meeting, she called me, Tone, she just started walking. I ran out that meeting like, oh, I'm gonna go see my daughter walk. So we gotta be mindful, like we can work all we want, but we gotta live for ourselves.
There's a reason we're working.
And we gotta live for our family
to enjoy it.
And keep that reason at the forefront. So what allows you guys to do that, obviously you guys built a business that you can own but do not run, in the sense that you're not like, cleaning the houses. So obviously for somebody who's watching, I know they're not gonna be able to get every nuance and every detail, but if you were to explain to somebody on this podcast, like if you want to start your own cleaning business from A to Z, What does that process at a high level at least look like?
So I would call it the remote method, right? If you look at multi-billion-dollar businesses, it's Uber, Airbnb, DoorDash, Amazon. Uber does not own any taxis because back in the day, a traditional taxi company back in New York, you have to go in the corner, raise your head, taxi pulls up. Very chaotic. Or you would call a company, they would send out a black taxi for you. Airbnb is the largest hotel company in the world and they don't own any hotels. How is that? All they do is connect you with people who already have properties. And then DoorDash doesn't own any restaurants. They do the same exact thing. So that's exactly how we run our cleaning business. Very similar to like Thumbtack. You go on Thumbtack, you can hire literally any service provider you want. That's exactly the same way we run our cleaning business. So
Be the middleman.
Be the middleman, right? The middleman operator. So you're running the marketing, you're running the sales, you're running the hiring, the operations. The only thing you're not doing is the physical labor. You're doing everything else and managing it, but you're not doing the physical labor. So that's why we call it like the remote middleman method.
So my question with that is, because I hear a lot of, the Be the Middleman business, right? My concern with being the middleman is I now have 2 customers. I have like it's for Airbnb, I have the guest they're trying to book, and I have the renter who I have to deal with. How do you manage having to deal with both parties? Because if one person messes up, it's your fault. You know what I'm saying? So how do you balance both?
You want to take that one or you want me to take it?
So I think the one side of it when it comes to like our contractors, like the vetting process in it, right? So background check, and we like contractors that have their own business because then you're more like, you're not in and out, right? So you take this seriously, this is your craft, you love to clean, we like that. And then on top of that, just making them feel and know that it's a partnership becomes important. Like, so your voice is as important as mine. And like, we're not gonna tolerate people talking down to you or doing negative things. So showing up for them to let them know that even though you're just a contractor for us, we still gonna respect you and show you that type of thing. Because in this industry specifically, they don't get that. They don't get that level from even people they've worked with in the past and customers. They kind of look down on them. So that's another
help.
there helps. So that's another like important piece just with the contractor side. So we tend to not have many conflict with them at all, really. It's more of like, I'll do it for you guys because I'm working for you guys, but this customer is not being nice, or so they would go the mile for us because of the relationship and rapport that we build and set from the very beginning. Paying them on time, like we said we will, because they've dealt with that. People saying they're going to pay them and they don't. So that side, we don't find much conflict with. Now, the customer side, people are going to be people, right? And you can't please everyone. And we've just learned sometimes, like, we got to bite the bullet and reimburse them, or, that review they left is going to hurt us more than just giving them back $100. So that over the years, we had to kind of learn that and suck it up, even though we don't believe the customer is always right. Let's be clear.
Absolutely not.
But sometimes you just can't rationalize with certain people. I've tried, and most of the time I can, but there's some that I can't.
Trying to be rational with the irrational person isn't irrational.
Right. So I had a recent thing like that, and I told him, I'm like, it doesn't make sense to call this person. They're not in that space, so don't even do it. So that's how we kind of manage it. Not really with not many conflict with them, but more with the customer, and just trying our best to please them, because there's always something that somebody wants. Like, what do you want, really? At the end of the day, there's something that you want. That's why you're complaining. So kind of figuring that out.
George has this analogy. Should I let you say it? Because I might butcher it.
Give it a try. Like my last name, people say, should I say it? Well, give it a shot.
So it's like a restaurant analogy, right? Like if you order something at the restaurant and they bring you the wrong thing, you're not mad about them bringing you the wrong thing. You're mad about how they react to bringing you the wrong thing. Right? So it's like, if I say I ordered steak, you gave me chicken, and they say, "Oh my God, sir, I'm gonna fire the person that brought you." Like, no, don't worry about it. Just bring my chicken, I'm all good. But they kind of, so what, you're like, well, this is all we got. You're gonna be mad. So it's not about doing something wrong. It's about how do you respond to that, and how do you fix it?
And we say that with reviews too, right? We tell our students, like, respond to all reviews. Like, people look at that. Like, no one's saying that you're not going to get a negative review, but how you respond to the review may make a difference of how, if I go with you or not. If you're like, oh yeah, you're crazy, I told you already, it's like, okay. You still got to remain professional, even if this person is wrong. Like, even if you know that you did everything right, you still have to remain professional. So I agree with that. How you respond to things make a difference.
You as a business owner, that's one of the main things that you can control is your communication. Right? So let's say you do have that angry customer. How are you responding to? Are you communicating with them with empathy, right? She's like, all right, I'm going to call them. I'm going to calm them down. And I'm like, no, refund their money. Let's move on. We don't need it. But it's like, how do you handle that communication? If you're running late, just like you guys have employees, you guys have team members. If they do something with a client, right? How do you guys handle that? It's the same exact thing. The only difference is we didn't train these people from day one. They had a skill set and we're just working with them as a partnership.
And then I think also recognizing, generally, I would say when things go wrong, there is something that we did wrong too. There's something that like, okay, so
What can we learn from it?
What did we do wrong in this situation as well? Even if it's just 20% out of 100, like that's important too to identify. So that's how we manage it. Just kind of being real and upfront with the customer and trying to meet them where they are.
Okay. You know, people, and I know y'all experienced this with, especially with Cleaning Business University, probably people who are interested or intrigued by it, is like, people will talk themselves out of opportunity, right? They're like, oh, well, I would start this, but it costs too much, or it's like, so if someone were to start, like, what is the kind of the rough startup cost? Or what are some of like the systems that you would need to be able to run this business, this remote cleaning business?
So startup, we tell people they need like $1,500, and that's it. They only need
100, not 1,000.
$1,500 to start up, because it's not a brick and mortar, right? So to start, right? I'm not saying that's all you're gonna spend, but to start, that includes like getting an LLC, starting your business bank account, starting some marketing to get the clients and marketing to get the contractors. And the good thing about it is it's not all in one shot. It's not like Monday now I'm slapping out $1,500. I gotta get my LLC, and then maybe 2 weeks later, like I'm building as things happening, the website, that type of stuff. That's a place to start. Obviously, the more money you have, I think the further you get quicker, right? When it comes to marketing, because a lot of this is paid marketing online. So the more the merrier. But in regards to just starting the business, it's roughly about $1,500. And I'll have some students argue in the comments like, well, I only started with $600. Sure. I'm just trying to buffer people. I'm just trying to buffer people. Yes, it can be cheaper, but just trying to like let people know.
So when it comes to like some of the systems that that 1,500 includes, like our CRM, we built our own in-house CRM off of High Level. So it comes with our automations, comes with our templates, comes with our systems, our emails, our text messages, everything else. So those are some things that they could get from day one. But if you like, one of our clients, one of our students, she built her cleaning business to like $400,000, and she's actually located in Texas as well. She's like, Anthony, I didn't want to tell you guys, I didn't have an LLC, I didn't have a website. She's like, I didn't do nothing. She's like,
after,
she did all that stuff after. She's like, I got a cleaner and I got a client, and that's how I started my business, right? She's like, I'm
right there.
She's like,
Cleaner to client. That's all you need.
That's all you need. In order for have a business, you got to make money. She's like, I just needed those two things, and that's what I did. It. She's like, I went back and backtracked and did those things, but is that from everybody?
But that's what we tell. That's even like when people ask us all the time, right? You know, like in the challenges or whatever, they're just like we show them the way your wealth should be structured, and then they're like, and then they think, okay, well, I need the trust, I need this, I need that. I'm like, you got to pass them to put in that thing. And so like, yes, if you talk to the attorney, they're gonna tell you need all these things, but like, it's okay to get a little traction, get a little momentum, and then double back, right? Is it the perfect or right way on paper definitively to start your business without the trademark? Probably not, but I'd much rather you allocate time and resources to making the money, right, and validating the idea than spending money on things that don't matter yet. Right. So we agree with that wholeheartedly for sure.
Okay, so they have the LLC in the perfect world. They have the CRM set up so they understand, and get the templates.
Hold on, I'm gonna cut you off. If I don't say this now, I forget. So when people work with you guys through Cleaning Business University, they get access to the CRM that you guys have built on top of Go High Level, whatever, right? Or they get access to the templates. Y'all leave a lot of money on the table. We have a conversation offline.
Y'all leave it. It's a separate payment.
It's a separate payment.
Yeah, it's not included.
And the funny thing is, they're like, wait, we don't get this included. We have to build that out. We have a team that builds your
That sounds like MRR to me.
Yes,
that's not MRR. It sounds like a franchise model when y'all push out updates to the. Anyways, that's another conversation.
But Penny in the room.
Go ahead.
But that was a good point. So I'm thinking of the listener right now, right? I got my LLC set up. I got the $1,500 set aside. I get y'all CRM. Who do I market to first?
All right, so chicken or the egg?
Yeah.
Same exact thing.
Okay.
The question is, are you going out to clean houses yourself? Probably not. So the first thing you're going to do is probably going to get your cleaners, right? Some places you can find your cleaners, as we tell people to go on Facebook groups. It might be a little outdated, but it still works today, right? People are posting every single day. You got this platform called Nextdoor, like, oh, my cleaner is amazing, working with her for 15 years. She's looking for more clients. You hit up that cleaner, hey, I saw your name in Nextdoor. My name is such and such. I just started my cleaning business. Would you want to operate with me? Here's how I'm running my business. You can go to Craigslist. You guys don't know what Craigslist is? It's a directory page. It's extremely outdated, but it still works. Go to
So
Craigslist.
Craigslist is still there.
Craigslist is still there. It still works, right? Indeed is one of the platforms we found that if you don't want to go out and hunt for people, they are looking for jobs, they will come to you. You can post your job ad on Craigslist, have an extremely, we have an extremely detailed job ad because we want people to see them like, whoa, they're kind of strict about this cleaning thing. We might not want to work with them because we don't want everyone into our business because our hiring process is extremely, extremely thorough. So you got the job ad, you start posting on these platforms like I just mentioned, and then from there you find somebody, go through the interview process. We do a background check, we do a reference check, we make sure they got insurance. They don't have insurance, we make sure they are willing to get insurance, and then and only then we do a phone screening with them. And then from there, we might do a first job or a test clean. First job is like, all right, we got a client, like, hey, we're gonna give you a free cleaning in exchange for some valid feedback from you on what happened. Things go well, things didn't go well. After that goes well, and after that only goes well. And then we start marketing to our clients. So that's why I say the chicken or the egg. You go on and clean yourself, absolutely do it. But if you want to get the cleaners first, that's how I recommend.
Got it. What has been, I mean, obviously you guys have over 18 million in student results, which is amazing. What has been one of your favorite or best, I guess, like client testimonials?
My favorite would probably be Alex. And I say Alex, Alex is actually he was in Houston at the time.
Oh,
He's in Dallas now. Young dude, he was doing trucking, he was doing real estate, he's doing stocks, he was doing options. I'm gonna do trucking, I'm gonna try this cleaning business thing. I'll say, Alex, please do me a favor. You're very brilliant, you got a mastermind ability. Focus on one thing. Can we just do that? He's like, all right. He started selling off some real estate, started selling off his trucks. He's like, I'm gonna focus on this cleaning business thing. 2.5 years later, he hit $1 million in the cleaning business. Wow. And he was like, I'm good. He's like, that was it. And then after that, he did what he had to do with his cleaning business. And that was my favorite testimony because I told him from day one, I was like, you are very talented. Just focus on one thing. Whatever you want to do, just focus on that one thing. I promise you could do great with it. And he's probably been one of our favorites. He was one of our earlier students. He was like, I'm gonna take this seriously, and he dove in. Yeah,
he followed it, and that was one thing because we get students that kind of like, and I'm like, well, who told you to do that? Yeah. He's like, oh yeah, well, I came back around to it, but he was like, I followed what you guys said and executed, and it worked. Yeah, so
that's dope.
Yeah, I asked for a friend. Ask for myself. What is this is probably gonna be a question. The question that needs more context. What is a good what is the average cleaning rate that you can get for cleaning somebody's apartment? Like in this, does it depend on square feet and all that stuff like that? So let's say a 1,500, 1,600 square foot apartment. What's a good cleaning rate?
A 1 bedroom, 1 bath?
Two bed, 2 bath.
Oh, so maybe it's close to like 225. On the first clean, maybe around there, depending, because a lot of the first clean you try to add in, you try to upsell and do like a deep clean.
Oh yeah, that's what listen. Holiday text, y'all coming next week. Leave me alone.
So yeah, so you try to upsell on different things, and so maybe 225, 250, just depending.
That's actually the feedback right there.
Yeah.
Why are you getting the holiday text? You sure you getting the holiday text?
So yeah, just depending. Yeah, that's where I would land with it.
Okay, I was seeing how much I was paying if it was in market rate. That's about right. But what I think is dope about the cleaning business for anybody who is skeptical about getting in. 2 things. Number 1, it should have a high stick rate because I don't trust that many people in my apartment. Like same with him, we have really expensive stuff in our apartment. So once you find somebody you like and you trust, the switching cost is high. So once you get a client that knows I can trust you, you should have that client for a long time. Number 2 is that usually, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, people who get their house or apartment clean tend to be people who are fairly affluent.
Right. So it is a luxury to get your house cleaned, right? And you spoke about like if they like you, they should stick with you. Like I could think I'll use his name as his name is Roger. Let's say we've been cleaning his house every single week, so we've gotten like $70,000 from this one customer.
We cleaned his house 339 times.
Since
knows the
339 times.
So that
It's
our
$66,000.
cleaners, Anita has the key to his home. He's in Italy. He's like, I'm not gonna be just let her know the alarm's not on. She has the key. She goes every week. She knows, she's like, yeah, he has a big home. He's by himself. So yes, you're right. When they love you, they stick it through. So sometimes we see people fall off just finances because, like you said, it is a luxury to get your home clean. But we find finances, but then you do find people that just like, well, I just want my window clean. Like people do call, and I just want the floor mopped. We're not coming. We're not the third. We got the wrong company for that. You gotta find a mom and pop for that,
But that's why I think there's we were talking offline before the cameras were on. Why I think it's so much opportunity in what y'all doing because the level of MRR that comes from the stick rate of that, right? If you have equity in those cleaners businesses or decide there's a million ways you can go about it,
Right.
like you can package that. That's so easy to sell. Private equity will gobble that up.
Because it's a quote unquote boring business that has high reoccurring revenue,
recurring revenue.
sticky client retention.
Yeah.
And this is something I want to ask y'all as well. So when I moved to Medellin, Colombia, I was introduced to this concept of a house manager. I didn't know that was a thing in America, but apparently it's like what super affluent people have, but it's way more affordable in Medellin. So when I came back home, I couldn't unsee it. So a house manager is not just somebody that cleans your house, but they go through your cabinets and they restock everything in your house.
They make sure the house functions.
They make sure the house functions.
Yeah.
So like my question to you all is, have you all thought about adding that to
Something like that.
So your
So
service model?
we've added things like organization
Yeah.
to our cleaning business. We've added things like carpet cleaning. But remember, we work contractors. So
Okay, so they have to
whoever
be
we
willing
work with
to
got to
do-
have it. They
Yeah,
got to have
they
it
gotta
before
have
we
it,
start
yeah.
marketing it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
unless we look for those specific people that organize.
I'm gonna challenge you on that though, right? So Dan Martell, y'all know Dan Martell,
Yeah.
right? So he's the guy who I got the house manager concept from, and basically what he's saying is like they might have started out like he's like if your person can clean your house, they could probably fill up your gas tank.
yeah,
right? So,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
so even if they're not like doing it's not a part of the job description, you can expand their mindset and they can make more money. Like, hey, would you be open to
Doing this?
If you can. I saw your people today. They was cleaning the floor, right? If you can do that, surely you can restock some cabinets, right? So is it a risk to like take that on and make them like wonder if they can learn or teach that?
So-
Yes, but it's a high probability that they can do it.
I would host a class and charge them. Real talk. If I'm
Now this is a masterclass.
if I were you all, I would reach out to my cleaners and be like, hey, we have this program, it's $1,000, whatever. We will teach you all how to upgrade your skill set from cleaners to house managers. If you do this, you can go from charging $200 a house to $600 a house. It's a one-time payment. So now you're getting paid from the contractors for you all to create the SOP that you want them to follow anyway.
Yep.
And then they pay you, and now they become a certified house manager, and then you bring it to your clients. If my cleaners right now told me they had the ability to start managing my house, I would give it to them. They haven't reached out to me, so I haven't said yes.
haven't tried it, yeah.
I'm trying to fly my old person from Colombia, get her visa to come here because I don't know if they can do it. But if they said they can do it, I would give them a try.
I will add this on to y'all's business. Y'all give me some. Y'all let me.
Let me give you a legal standpoint as well, because we've gone through this. We've gone through this a few times. So the way we run our business model, we try to maintain a reasonable distance from all the tasks they're doing, because once you pass a certain threshold,
Yes, you're right.
and
Department of Labor.
I don't want to get into the conversation too much because I don't want it to come back up again, God forbid. But we've gone through this process, and they were like, "You guys are good. Everything you guys are doing." But it's like once you cross this threshold, we're gonna have some problems. So we want to. So if we did, that's absolutely a great idea. But there's certain legalese that we try not to cross, because we've came to that line a little bit. So people are like, oh, how can you do this? Like, we've gone through it. We've proven the model. We paid to prove the model. So you guys can't tell me otherwise for now. So,
Understood. And everything has its pros and cons, and you can do
Absolutely.
you can do everything, right? So it's not a so it's not a
that's
matter-
one of the things. She's like, have we ever thought about going to employees? Absolutely. But it's like, what's the time commitment that we would need to present in that side? And what's the opportunity cost?
No, for sure. We got
The grass always greener. We just spitball. We got to do the work. They're like, what I'm saying?
I can sit here and argue all day about it, but there's definitely opportunities there, but we have to choose which route we want to go. Because once you tiptoe,
Yep. No, I think the biggest opportunity is getting equity stake in the contractors that y'all already work with. And instead of it being like, and so now all the technology that y'all are using, they already have access to it. Y'all still continue to create more distribution. I think that's the biggest opportunity, because now you still are able to teach people at scale, right, and do that. But now you're getting equity in these businesses, and then you're able to roll them up into one entity, increase enterprise value, exit, whatever. I'm happy to that conversation and add that arm of your business, since y'all not doing it anyway. But anyways, so let's swing the pendulum back a little bit different. So, as I mentioned earlier in the episode, you guys have two beautiful kids. One's about to turn 1, and one's 3, turns 4 in February. Okay, memory serves me right.
we right there. So
Yeah, I knew it was right after Legend. That's how I remember. So let's talk a little bit about balancing as a married couple is one thing. That's a whole dynamic.
Right.
But balancing like business and motherhood as a woman, because you're involved in the business, right? This is your business too. Like, how are you? able to navigate, raising these 2 young kids, still showing up as a motherhood. I know women oftentimes deal with, what is it called, mom guilt, because it's like I'm balancing this business that I'm building. How are you just navigating all those things, as a mother and as an entrepreneur?
So I think the important piece of it is like your spouse as well, right? Like, so how do they show up for you? How do they kind of support you to not make you just feel like you're in this alone? So I don't ever feel like I'm just parenting alone, right? So a lot of it is both of us together. Like from the very beginning when Alani was born, it was like, okay, we had shifts at night. Like you getting up first, I'm getting up first. You getting up first, I'm getting. So it's a lot of that kind of, it's not just me getting them dressed in the morning, he'll get them dressed in the morning. So it's kind of that balance that's provided. But then on top of that, we're the only ones as family that lives in Dallas. All of our family is back home in Brooklyn, New York. So we do hire help. Like we pay for help. That's something that we don't shy away from. That's something that I had to like let my mom know, like this is what's gonna be. Cause like they're like, well, why are you having somebody and
around my grandbaby?
And where are you? And
you planning to move to Dallas?
You were in New York, right? So from the very beginning, we had like a doula, a night nanny, and then we had a nanny for 2 years, and now we have an au pair. So the hired help helps me to show up as a better mom, as a better wife.
Yeah.
And so the support of my husband and then the hired help helps me to not feel so kind of alone, helps me to not and feel like I can do other things and do the things I want to do. Like, okay, I can go out at night with friends because things are settled. And it's not like, oh, my husband don't know how to put down his child at night. You know what I mean? So those are 2 things I would say helps me to kind of balance it.
Got you.
Yeah.
Random question. Are you, last year, what was it? So it's 2024. Yeah, I took 6 months off from drinking and he inspired the journey. So are you still having drunk since we went, you said?
I haven't drank in 3 years now.
Yeah, Alani is December 2021.
Yeah,
when you started.
3 years. So do you still drink?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's your battle, King.
You deal with that.
You run that race, man.
The reason he stopped drinking was like because I was pregnant. He was like, all right, I'll go to the end with you with this because she was born in February. He's like, all right, we got 2-3 months, we can stick this out. I'm like, okay. 7 weeks later, I was back drinking. After she was born, I'm like, okay.
But that's one of my challenges. Like I go from one extreme to the next. It's like, all right, let me see how long I can go. Then it's like, do I really need it? Now it's not like I'm anti. Like 40th birthday, when that comes up, it's like, okay, maybe I go back at that time. You know, when we celebrate.
When is your 40th birthday? Because you're 38, not 39.
Just turned 39.
He's 40 next year, man.
40 next year. So it's like, all right, maybe at that point, our 10-year anniversary, maybe I go back to it. But it's not like I'm anti it. We got a stock house right now.
I got you.
It's Friday. I'm gonna have a drink.
Like I'm in there.
Do you feel like, a lot of people have different perspectives on it. How's that influenced, I guess your journey as a father, as an entrepreneur? Like, has it changed or has it just been, I'm just not drinking anymore and it is what it is?
I don't think it's changed much, honestly. I think from our perspective, or at least from my perspective, when it comes to drinking, it's like, we're at the point where if we do drink, we got kids, we know we got to wake up and they're going to wake up at 6 o'clock every single day. We can't handle hangovers, right? That's the thing that we want to do, that we didn't want to deal with. So for me, I don't think it's changed too much. I think now I've adjusted so much better to it. But when I first stopped drinking, it was definitely a challenge. We go out to the club, we go out, whatever we're going to do. And it's like, it's kind of challenging. But at this point,
everybody thinks that something is
like,
wrong.
what happened? Why don't you drink?
Anytime,
Isn't that crazy?
They're like,
crazy.
Okay. They think, he must have been a rehab. They think something is wrong. They're not saying it, but they're like, oh, okay.
I just don't want to poison my body today. Like,
is that unreasonable?
It's like, if you don't smoke, nobody asks. But if you don't drink, it's like, what happened? I'm like,
Do you have an incident? That's always like
I tell them my story. It's like, oh, that was boring. It's like, no reason.
Something happened. I thought you got DUI.
Like, no.
So Cleaning Business University, right? Because I know people listen to this episode right now and they're like, shoot, I need to start me a cleaning business, right? Tell us a little bit about it. If someone wanted to get started, what does it look like? What can they expect? All the things.
I'll let you go.
So Cleaning Business University, way it started and where it is to now, before it was just a course, like a step-by-step module program. Now we built an entire community of over 2,000 students and we literally give you the step-by-step modules. I think that's not as important right now because information is so abundant, right? Give the information away for free. But the implementation and the community is what we built over these we've been focused on a community huge for the last like 2 to 3 years. We just had our first in-person community event. And that's been...
Was it here in Dallas?
It was actually in Atlanta.
Okay.
Because we were going to Atlanta, and our coach was like, "You should do an event." It's like whatever. So we did an event.
But our next one is in Dallas,
Our
actually.
next one is going to be in Dallas. If you guys want to speak, absolutely.
Yeah, pull up for sure.
Yeah,
Say less.
yeah, give some game, but
Clean your business, clean your house, clean your finances.
There it is. So it started with just step-by-step modules. Then it turned into an entire community. We do live coaching calls. We bring in guest experts to come in and share the information. So that's what it's really turned into.
And you can kind of sign up and everything at cleaningbusinessuniversity.com. That's where we market it at. And it's become its own thing. At first, people knew it was just for paying off our debt. And now, like, most people don't even know that part. It's just like the cleaning business coaches is what they say. Or if we see somebody somewhere and I'm like, oh, hi. Like, you just randomly run into people kind of just talking about that specifically. Like, oh, I've seen your ad before.
Like you the cleaning business people. I was like, yeah, we own a cleaning business, but we got other stuff happening.
I'm
more than that.
I know
More than a cleaning business.
I know we've ideated all sorts of potential ideas for you guys' business, but like when you guys think about what's next for the evolution of whether it's the actual cleaning business that you guys own and operate or Cleaning Business University, what are some things on the horizon that you guys can share?
So the actual cleaning business itself, I think we were like, we have never really tapped into commercial. And so many of our students like explode on commercial. And it's so funny because people are like, is the course for commercial just residential? I'm like, it really focuses on residential because that's what we did. And that's an easier way to get in. However, many people will go on and do commercial. So for our actual cleaning business, I think the commercial side is something that we're starting to explore more and see like where that goes. And then Cleaning Business University, I think more in-person events because it's funny, we've had it now for 5 years and we've never done in-person events. And so we're like now getting to that, connecting with our people and just making sure there's other ways that we can assist them. Because generally, like you said, it was the course and community. It stopped there, right? But there's so much more within there that on a higher level and a lower level that we could be doing that we're focusing on now.
Remind me off camera to give y'all some insight on how to make those community events profitable.
Okay, yeah.
I think the biggest thing is when you speak about community, I think when we were talking to our coach, it's like, I don't want to leave my house, man. I got the 2 kids, we're good. And I think for me, the older I get and the more comfortable I get with my family and the ways, I would rather be around the people I do know, but I know there's a big component, right? We didn't know that people would travel 11 hours to come to Atlanta when we did the event. So now it's like, okay, I'm okay with, getting out my comfort show a little bit, my comfort zone, but, at the end of the day, I'd rather be in my house, like with the family. So getting out there, getting uncomfortable, reintroducing ourselves to the world because we've done events with you guys and we've gone out and we've traveled and stuff like that. But I think the last probably 2 years has probably been very difficult for us. And it's like, I'd rather just stay home sometimes. So reintroducing ourselves and I think me relearning myself, what I want to do, what I don't want to do, is super important.
Yeah, because y'all started this before y'all had kids.
Yeah.
Right? Now you have 2.
Yeah.
2 grown kids, right? And so it's just like, and I think we can't underestimate the power of representation, especially amongst, us in the culture, right? So it's like, we don't have obligation, right, to go to be outside and be that representation, but we do have a responsibility, right? To present, you can't be a healthy, happy, married couple with kids, run a business together. Like there's something to be said about, because that's, I feel like what people always like, anybody can do a Cleaning Business University, right? But like y'all are doing it as a married couple, right? Who has kids. And so I think that level of representation, I think is powerful. You don't have to do it, but I'm glad you guys are open to, doing more community stuff because you'd be surprised of the power of representation and how someone is willing to do something. They might have saw somebody doing something similar, a middle-aged white guy teaching about cleaning businesses, but now they're doing it because, now that makes sense. If they can do it, I can do it. They were in corporate. They have debt. They have kids now. So I think it's something to be said.
And as we grow and evolve, our branding changes too. So when we first started 5 years ago, like you said, no kids, we was outside. So our demographic was probably a little bit younger. Now we're getting people, they're like, oh, I'm near retirement. It's like, we ain't near retirement. Don't get me wrong. We ain't
The president in his 30s,
Like we still outside like that, but our branding has changed a little bit where, people are like, I got kids, I got family, I want to grow this business. So I think we also got to be mindful of that too. So as we grow and expand, our brand changed a lot too.
The evolution. I love it. So, if you guys have helped your students achieve 18 million in student results, my gut is telling me, actually I already know the truth, but y'all have been fortunate enough to cross the $1 million net worth threshold yourself as well, right? So my question for you guys, we ask every guest, is what does being a melanin millionaire mean to you? We just talked about representation, but I'm curious, like, what does that mean to you?
I feel like like with life, I think that it feels like just another thing, and you just kind of keep moving. And it's unfortunate because I think about like when I got my master's, I'm like, everyone's like, oh my God. And I'm like, yeah, it's something that I had to, like I was supposed to get. Like I was supposed to get it. Not that I was supposed to be a millionaire, but it doesn't necessarily feel different until you're like speaking to people that maybe not are as close to you, right? Because they're like, wow, you did all this. Or like a parent saying something to you that obviously traditionally you would be at a 9 to 5, you know, or like a cousin or something. So that kind of, I feel like hits a little different sometimes. But when you're in the motion of it, you don't really recognize it and sit in it. I recognize, you know, just all the good things that you're doing in the way that you're showing up for people. You don't really sit in that until once in a while you see somebody or somebody write something to you like, oh, you don't know how much, blah, 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 you changed my life. And I'm like, that's a big statement. Like, but usually you just kind of keep it moving. You just keep doing the podcast. You keep doing the things that you know that you
the number keeps moving.
The goalpost
goalpost
keeps moving, and you know, we have those conversations.
challenging.
Like, when does the goalpost end? Like,
Is it enough? When
is it enough? And it was like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm at that point that I feel like I've had enough. Like, I'm not Jeff Bezos. Like, I don't know. Like,
There's some room. There's some room in there.
It's like, you know what I mean? So it's just, it's hard because like, you know, you hit it, but then sometimes you just keep moving. You don't sit in it and kind of.
We got that message literally coincidentally enough. When you're, as you guys know, when you're running ads on social media, you get random from all across the world.
Right.
And I'm the type of person where, unfortunately, I want to see what's going on. I want to see what people are saying about my name, even if they don't know me.
Yeah.
And sometimes that could put me in the funk. Right? I go block and delete. I try not to respond to them. But I saw some negative comments. I go and delete them, but I'm like, Jhanlika, this person said this. How can you believe this? And she's like, you don't even know. They probably didn't even read it. They probably never looked you up.
They don't know me.
They don't know you from a hole in the wall. And this, we got the same message 3 times this week from different people saying, you guys changed my life. And going back to, you know, what does being a melanin millionaire mean to us? I think that's what it means. And it's just about you sharing your story because we recognize at this point that it is almost our obligation to start sharing our stories, letting people know what's possible for them and being a representation of the greater good in the world and our people. So that's what it means to me. And
and that's been his message from the beginning, just letting you know what's possible. I ain't gonna tell you to leave your job. I ain't gonna tell you to just take it in. Just know that there's something, there's other options out there. You make a decision on this is where I want to go or not.
Let me give you guys a prime example of that. I saw your car. You post about your car. It is a beautiful car. You growing up, I've never seen anybody in a more beautiful car than that, right? It's not just about the car. It's about the representation of the black man getting out of that car. And then I saw this man's car. And I'm like, these are 2 young brothers. I told Jhanlika, there are levels that people are at.
Levels,
And I'm like, you think you at somebody's level? And then you realize.
I said, baby, I'm not.
But it's like, it's not even just about being at the level, it's showing you what's possible, right? And people are like, oh, you bragging, you got this, you got that. I'm like, no, that showed you what's possible as being a black man in America and showing you what you can do in this world, right?
One of the best lessons I learned is that people will either be intimidated or inspired about what you do. Neither is your problem. So post your story, your wins, your car. Now there's a difference between posting and flexing, but when you tell people what you've achieved, they either get inspired or intimidated. Neither one of your problem.
Absolutely.
No, that's the fact. I'm glad you said that because I was more on the reserve side. I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to post it, right? But it's like, will it do more good than it would? Got that from Dan Martell as well because he's a supercar guy, and he was just like, he didn't want to post his cars back in the day, but there was just his mentor was just like, how much good can you do with it? Like we were downtown, 4th of July, whatever it was. Little kid was so excited, and he was like, you know, trying to take a video of the car, and he'll never forget that moment, you know, like, and that might have been the seed that was sown. One day I'm gonna have that car. Absolutely. It's not about the car, it's about who is the person you have to become to get
that car.
Right? And if that's the good that you can do by showing up, telling your story, not flexing, not stunting on anybody, right, and showing what's possible, I think that outweighs the naysayers, it outweighs the haters, it outweighs the, oh, your lifestyle more, or whatever assumptions people want to have, because the truth of the matter is, those who truly know you, right? They'll know. They'll know your intent. They'll know you're not flexing, right? Or if y'all are on vacation and some payments come through from the cleaning business, it's not to flex. It's to show. Like we're telling y'all, I'm with my family right now, and somebody else who is also getting fulfilled and they're getting their fair wages are able to do honest work and everybody's able to win, and I'm able to do what I do. But somebody's gonna look at that same post that I saw that think it was dope. It's gonna be like, oh man, they stunting there on some island in Mexico, and they're posting stripe screenshots. I see, man, that's dope. Yeah. When they gonna let me add this acquisition arm for their business or you can run it? Right? So I'm so glad you said that because people need to hear that. And at the end of the day, all that matters is intent. And if you're a believer, God knows your heart. And who can you inspire? And I think that's what matters most. So we appreciate y'all for what y'all do and what y'all represent. So glad to finally get y'all on. Is this a shade of melanin? I said the melanin. Yeah.
We did it right. We did it right.
No, we appreciate y'all. I mean, I'm actually glad it worked out this way because the first time I asked, I think it would have been like, we didn't have a studio. So we would have been like in Atlanta. We both were crossing paths in Atlanta.
Yeah, this is right. This is right. Yeah.
We both in Dallas. Make it happen. So appreciate y'all. Keep killing it. Keep crushing it. And until next time.
Now I want to give you guys your flowers, man, because y'all been putting out game, y'all been sharing it, y'all been giving everybody so much hope, so much inspiration. So I definitely want to give you guys, both of you guys, your flowers because, you know, you guys coming up from where you come from and sharing your story and showing us what's possible. That's the only way we all get ahead. Because if we only see back in the day drug dealers doing this type of stuff and you guys are able to take it from a serious level, showing us how to run businesses, showing us how to run families, showing us how to grow our teams, right? I see Carter in Colombia and I'm like, what is he doing? Oh, he's running his business from Colombia. I see you with the family and I see you with the cars and I see you doing these things. It only makes us grow, man. So I appreciate both of you guys for sharing your platform and just sharing your journeys along the way.
Appreciate you guys, man. Well, again, what better way to end the show than that?
Yes, sir.
Till next time.
Peace out, y'all.
Peace.